everyone, before we get started, I just wanted to say I am super sorry that this video did not come out yesterday like I wanted it to, but hey, you know what? Still made it, so let's get started. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Smiley, and today I'm very excited to be talking with you guys about the 12th season of Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker's second season as the Doctor, and I'm here to give you some thoughts on it. Let's start with the positives. Again, Jodie Whittaker, fucking brilliant. She is absolutely incredible in this role. And this season, they do take things a lot darker than they did in the last season. It's still not where I want it to be, like it's still not quite as good as Capaldi, but it is certainly trying to get there, and I like that they've been listening to fan feedback, listening to what the fans want to see in the show, and taking that into account when they're writing it. And there was quite a lot of fan service this season, and I think all of it was very well done, didn't interrupt the story, and in fact a lot of it added to the story quite well, I think. The writing has gotten better, though I still don't like Chris Chibnall as the lead creator on this show. I just think a lot of his dialogue doesn't quite have the moxie that Moffat's or Davies' dialogue had, but you know, he can improve that. That's something he needs to work on, and I'd like to see him work on it. I am excited to see what season 13 has in store, because you know, this is a huge improvement over season 11, so I can only imagine that season 13 will continue to improve. The villains have gotten a lot better, a lot more interesting this season. That was one of my huge gripes last season, was that all the villains just fucking sucked, and this season actually uses a lot more classic Doctor Who villains, like a lot more. And I thought that was really fun. I like seeing these species on screen. I like seeing what each creator of the show will bring to these species, and I'm glad that Chibnall finally tried his hand at it. A lot of this season revolves around the Cybermen, and I won't go into spoilers. I'll just say I think a lot of that stuff is really well done. I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. And the companions, Ryan, Graham, and Yaz, these three people are still absolutely incredible. They are played brilliantly. Although there are some awkward moments in this season between them, and I'm not talking about the one where Graham's talking about his fears about his cancer coming back, because that moment felt very in character for the Doctor, what she responded to him with then. But there are a couple other moments throughout the season where the dialogue is just a little bit awkward, and I think that all goes back to Chris Chibnall not exactly being the best writer, or at the very least showrunner, because going back, and I've gone back and watched older seasons of Doctor Who, and he's written quite a few of my favorite episodes over the years, but it appears to take a little more moxie than just being a decent enough writer to run this show. And you know, like I said, he did get exponentially better between last season and this season, so I am very excited to see where it's going to go with season 13 next year. And another huge positive, we will be getting a holiday special this year, sometime in the holiday season. They weren't exactly clear on when it's coming out. It'll probably be Christmas or New Year's. Personally, I don't care which one. I just want there to be another episode. Although personally, I think it would have been really cool to do like a Halloween special and have like the Weeping Angels come back and do like a straight up horror episode. I think that would have been really fun, but you know, I'm not the showrunner. Maybe I could be. I'm kidding. But you know, Chibnall, if you're listening, he was clearly listening to my last review, because a lot of the things I said, he did. So, you know, I'm not saying that I'm talking right into this guy's ear or anything. I'm just saying he took my advice. So, you know, here's some more advice. Let's do a Halloween special, or, you know, just a horror episode in general. It can come out in October. It doesn't have to. You know, it can be part of next season. Whenever. But a straight horror episode with the Weeping Angels, I think that would absolutely blow people's minds. And yeah, I think that'd be a lovely idea. And let's talk about some negatives. And again, without going into spoilers, I've already mentioned this several times, but it can't hurt to mention it once more. Chibnall really needs to improve his game. I think he needs to bring a little more darkness to the Doctor. And they did that kind of with this experimental character that popped up about halfway through the season. No spoilers here, of course. But then that character was just criminally underutilized and then only made one more appearance and now is presumably just gone forever. That storyline's closed. And that was really kind of annoying, because I really liked the direction they were going with this character, and I thought they could have done something a lot ballsier. I know a lot of people have said that the end of this season fucks up the entire Doctor Who canon, and those people are idiots. Alarmist idiots who don't really know what they're talking about. They haven't sat down and really thought about it, because all Doctor Who showrunners have made monumental changes to the Doctor's history. That's nothing new, and so I think people getting mad about Chris Chibnall doing it, it's a little dumb, because, you know, Moffat, Davies, you know, all the way to the beginning, the creators have made changes to this character throughout the years. So those people are just fucking nuts. You know, if you're one of those people, sorry, not sorry. But the action this season, this was the big negative I alluded to a little earlier when we were talking about the Cybermen. The Cybermen episodes are very action heavy, and I think Jamie Magnus Stone is who directs some of these episodes. They just do not have a handle on action whatsoever. Last year in my review, I talked about how they should have brought Rachel Talalay back to direct the action-heavy episodes, and I think that that still stands because, goddamn, these episodes, you know, they were good. I really liked them, but the action just had no impact. It had no oomph. When explosions were going off and, you know, people were being chased and shit, there wasn't, like, a lot to it. It just didn't feel like it was well shot. And so I think Rachel Talalay should come back next season. Really, really, please, Chris Chibnall, listen to me when I say this. Rachel Talalay needs to come back to direct your action-heavy episodes. She is a phenomenal director. She is brilliant behind the camera, and she can absolutely bring a level of oomph to this show that it desperately needs right now. Especially, you know, there are a lot of action sequences this season, actually. And I feel like if she was at the very least on set, not necessarily directing every episode, but maybe whispering in some of the director's ears, you know, maybe this would have been, like, a lot more well shot. But, you know, that didn't happen, unfortunately, so that's a little bit of a shame. One huge thing that they could do for Season 13 is to bring back Rachel Talalay for the action episodes. And, again, if you don't know who Rachel Talalay is, she directed all of Peter Capaldi's finales and most of his specials, and she is just absolutely magical with a camera, and I need to see her come back. It's not a question of wanting to see her come back, I need to see her come back to this show. And one more negative, just one. There are two kind of boring episodes this season that just kind of suck. Episode 3 and Episode 7, I think it was. I didn't like these episodes too much. I thought that they were kind of boring, kind of slow, and they didn't really offer anything, which is unfortunate, because they could have switched one of these episodes out for, like, I don't know, more of that character I was talking about earlier, who I won't name because no spoilers here. Or, you know, they could have done, like, a horror episode like I talked about earlier with the Weeping Angels. So, these two episodes, Episode 3, Orphan 55, and I think it was Episode 7, Can You Hear Me? I did not like these two really that much. They were boring and predictable, and yeah. That's all I gotta say about those. But let's get to rating this season. And while I do think that this is a huge improvement over Season 11, I am still going to go ahead and give this an awesome 8 out of 10, which is the same rating as I gave last year. But who knows, maybe when we see that holiday special at the end of the year, it might tie the season together a little better, and we can bump this up to a 9, but I'll let you guys know then. So what did you guys think of Season 12 of Doctor Who? How are you guys liking Jodie Whittaker? All your comments and thoughts, let me know in those comments down below. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't like it, and as always, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Keep it kosher. Peace.